This is the eye, and if we look here at the pupil, where light comes in, this is we see inside the eye, the retina. This dark spot here, known as the fovea, is where light is focused. This is the optic nerve, where information is taken from the eye to the brain, and these blood vessels come out of the nerve into the eye to supply it with oxygen. This is the eye in cross-section. Light comes through the pupil, is focused on the lens, and then hits on the dark spot, the fovea. When light hits the retina, an impulse is generated, which is then taken through the nerve fibres, down the optic nerve, and out of the eye to the brain. When we look up close here, what we're seeing in the optic nerve is a hollow central structure, which the blood vessels come out. What we're asking you to do is mark the outer and inner parts of this nerve, and you can think of it as though there were roadworks. Imagine a hole in the road where various cables are being laid, some fine fibre optic cables and some thick gas pipes. The thin fibre optic cable dips immediately as it hits the hole, whereas the thicker cable takes a bit of time to do so. You can think of the optic nerve in the same way. When we look at the nerve in 2 dimensions, we're looking for clues to work out where that central hollow cup is, and blood vessels are very helpful for this, by seeing where they kink. Thin vessels have a more obvious kink, and thicker vessels are more gradual. So here's an actual optic nerve. If you look here at one of the thin blood vessels, you can see a little point where it kinks, and also at the thick vessel you can see a kink point, but it's less obvious. The first task we ask you to do is mark the outer edge of the optic nerve. Now sometimes defining the outer edge can be difficult. This is an example, the yellow arrow being the correct point to mark. And we mark all the way around, looking at different points by dragging a polygon to connect the dots. The more complicated part is trying to work out the inner part, the cup. Now this can often be based on where there's an obvious colour change, but where there is no obvious colour change, the vessels are the best indicator of where that hollow is. Thank you so much for helping.